This is the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association with Drtysouth and IQ Boxing. I'm Jermaine. Alongside me, we have Sam, the Magic Man. Gilly, how you doing, mate?
Hey, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very well, mate. Thanks for taking the time to join me today.
No problem, mate. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you. Sam, basically, I want to talk about it. You're 11-0, 5 wins coming by knockout. I want to ask you, how did you first get into boxing, and who has been your inspiration?
First, Ricky Hatton was my inspiration. Me and my dad sat down and watched Hatton Costa, and ever since I sat down and watched that night, that's when I was like, I want to be a boxer. I mean, I used to play football, but I was absolutely useless. So it was like after football, I tried other sports, and then I found boxing and watched that fight, and that was it for me, really. I fell in love with it from then. So yeah, that was how I got in.
Yeah, you're not the first boxer to tell me that Ricky Hatton was an inspiration to them. I've had Darren Tetley on there a couple of weeks ago before his fight, and he said that his inspiration was Ricky Hatton as well.
Yeah. I mean, he used to create so much. Well, the fan base he had was mad, wasn't it? So, and it was so entertaining, and all his fights were good. So, and he dragged thousands of people over to Vegas. So it was it's someone you can look up to because you want to aspire to do everything that he done.
100%. I mean, he's a top fighter, one British boxing legend, and yeah, so no doubt about it. He was someone you're going to look up to. I want to ask you. Obviously, you got a fight coming up next week.
Yes.
You're fighting the unbeaten Danny Ball for the WBC International Silver Belt, welterweight belt.
Yeah.
I want to ask you how much do you know about your opponent, and how's training been for this camp?
Oh, mate, training's been unbelievable. I mean, we've watched clips of Danny and come up with a game plan, obviously, which you do for every fight. But yeah, it's I mean, camp's been. It's not like every time you're gonna say, "Oh, I had a great camp," but honestly, this time, I mean, you can see the shape of me. If you go on my Instagram, you see the shape I'm in, and it's ridiculous compared to other camps. The numbers that I'm hitting in the gym in PWR with in Power Gym with Ricky McFarlane. And then the boxing side of it, we've been going down Matchroom 3 times a week doing sparring with top boys down there, and then me and Rod have been doing our work as well in the gym and just flying, mate. To be honest, I mean the game plan is solid game plan, and I mean it's no way that I believe Danny Ball can give me ag in this fight. I believe I'm just going to break him down and get the win before the last bell.
Brilliant. It seems like you're in a really good place. I mean, you're enjoying camp. Obviously, you said you've been now in Matchroom three times a week.
Well,
it seems like you're just very, very excited to fight.
Yeah, doing it is different, but I mean, training. I'm not sure about the dieting and stuff, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Like it's different because obviously gyms ain't packed and full with like it's. So it has been different, but it's been a lot more. So there's been a lot less distractions. If I'm in the gym, it's either me and Ricky, me and Rod, or me and Rod with Tony and one of his fighters. So it's been a lot more focused, should we say?
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned a trainer there, Tony Sims. Obviously, you've been on the Matchroom boxing gym. I've seen some pictures recently. You and Ted Cheeseman, Conor Benn, some top fighters out there getting ready for massive fights of their own. So how's it been? Obviously, like being in their presence, being in the camp with these guys, sparring these guys, preparing yourself for your fight.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, if you look up the rankings, all the boys that are down that gym are at the top of the rankings, aren't they? So, I mean, to go and test myself week in, week out against them is it's invaluable. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, it's never just like I'm never just with Ted or just with Conor. It's always like you mix in between during the weeks, or like one day I might do some rounds with Felix Cash. The Wednesday after I might be with Ted. So it's always changing as well. So you've always got to adapt, and you've got someone different in front of you as well. And but yeah, I mean, it's just you're not gonna prepare any better than getting that sort of working down there.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, these guys got some massive fights coming up. Obviously, Ted's fighting next week. Felix has just announced a fight against Denzel Bentley, a massive fight for the British title there. You've got so many cracking fights. Obviously, Joe Cordina, we interviewed Joe Cordina yesterday. He's got a massive fight coming up on Saturday night. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, being with these guys must be invaluable, like you said.
Yes, yeah, that's what it's great. And I mean, you get to see little bits when when I'm not sparring, you can sit and watch like bits that the boys do as well. And I mean, you got some top quality fighters down here. You got Martin J. Ward, you got Craig Richards, and I mean, all these boys are champions. So most of them from the amateurs right the way through, they've been winning titles their whole life. So it's massive for me to sort of learn off of everyone in there, really.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about your last fight. It's for the Southern Area title. Obviously, your first title as a professional. You won on points against Curtis Felix Jr. How did it feel to win that night and be crowned Southern Area champion?
Oh, mate, it's by far the best feeling in my life. Do you know what I mean? After I never won a title as an amateur. I went all the way into the pros with Rod saying to me, "We will win the Southern Area title within." He said 4 years, and I think we just went over the 4-year mark. And I mean, packed out Brentwood Centre, and it was a tough fight as well, which made it even sweeter. At the end of it, I was made to really work for it. So, I mean, Curtis was a very, very tough fighter, very skillful. Reactions were unbelievable. So that was a perfect test to set me up for bigger fights. So, yeah, but the feeling after when I finally got there, like I've been boxing since I was 11, to win my first championship at 20, what was I, 25? Like that's a long time to wait. So yeah, unbelievable feeling.
Yeah, I mean it was a packed. I watched that fight that night and it was absolutely packed.
Yeah,
fantastic atmosphere like you always do get at small hall shows as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely packed night, and it was obviously to get the win you must have been elated.
Oh yeah, I mean there was so we got in, funny enough, to go back to the hotel, me and Rod got in his smart car, and me and him, it was a bit like the Only Fools and Horses scene where they're in the front of the van and they're like shaking each other, screaming and shouting. We just got this Southern Area belt in the front of the car and we're just celebrating in his little smart car going down the road. Oh mate, it was a brilliant night. But it's a shame everyone's not going to be able to pack out the copper box and make some noise that night, but it's what it is, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I mean, I spoke about that a few times with different fighters. Obviously, boxing without any spectators there. How's that going to feel for you? Is it going to make any difference to you, or is this going to be another like a normal fight for you?
As much as I love everyone that comes and makes noise, I think it's actually going to make me perform better at the end of the day. I mean, when I spar, like I said just now, it's me, Rod, and the other coach and the other fighter. That's it, and that's where you do. Well, that's where I performed at my best this camp and other camp. I mean, my last fight against Curtis Felix, because I wobbled him, I went and there was everyone shouting, and you sort of lose track of what you're meant to be doing. Do you know what I mean? A little bit. And that was only my 11th fight as well. So it's my first one in front, like for a title. Like you get a bit overeager sometimes. So with no crowd there, you're just going to be a lot clearer, and I'm going to be able to stick to the game plan a lot better. And I think that'll get me to win a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, interviewed a few fighters, and they said obviously spoke about boxing with crowds and without crowds. It can be a good advantage. It can also be a disadvantage sometimes. Obviously, you look at recently, Josh Warrington obviously boxed without his Leeds faithful. He probably could have done with his fans there and backing him, but obviously that wasn't to be, and then came up short that night.
Style though, because he obviously bases his style, his work rate, and he sets such a pace. But obviously, a lot of that seems to be based off adrenaline, because the amount of fans that like he's like a Leeds version of Ricky Hatton. Do you know what I mean? That they spur him on, and he throws ridiculous punches, like numbers each round. So to that, if you're used to that sort of thing, I can see it having an effect. If you're a main event box office fighter, I can see it having an effect there. But when you're someone like me who's boxed at York Hall in front of 150 people, like on a Goodwin show at what was it, 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday, like this is not out of the ordinary for me. Do you know what I mean? It's just like going back to the start of my career. So yes, it's not going to be too much different for me.
Brilliant. Obviously, I want to talk to you about you signed with MTK Global. Obviously, you'll be fighting on the BT Sports Show.
Yeah.
Great card as well next week. How's it feel to be on this show, and how's it feel to be obviously signed to a big promotion like MTK Global?
I mean, the timing for this just feels right. I mean, MTK have been absolutely amazing for me. Like when Rod first met with Lee and discussed everything that they promised me, they've delivered. And the only thing they've asked back of me is to deliver wins, you know. So we've both held up our end of the deal, and Lee's come through and MTK have come through with this offer. And I mean, this is as good as an opportunity as I'm going to get. I'm going to get my first time on BT Sport. I'm going to be on TV. It's brilliant for sponsors, for exposure and stuff like that. And I mean, it's great. It's great to get. I mean, this is very, very weird because we got a couple of fight offers, but me and Rod, since Rod was in the corner for Mikey Saki versus McKenna, because they boxed for WBC International, didn't they? And I looked at it at the weigh-in and I went, "Oh, I really like that belt, Rod." And he went, "Don't worry, we'll have one of them soon." And then after the Southern Area, the next fight that's come through is one of them. So it's just fell into place lovely, really. But yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be a great show. Obviously, you've got some good fights on that card. Like it's going to be a great cracking show. You always get cracking shows from Frank and Queensby Boxing, and obviously on BT Sports. So I'm really looking forward to that night. It's going to be a good night. Obviously, I think it might same night as I'm not too sure if it's Akeem Ennis Brown. Is that the same night? Yeah. So against Sam Maxwell, that's a perfect fight.
That's an interesting fight. That is. I mean, two completely different styles. I mean, I've watched Akeem Brown a few times, and he's an absolute nightmare, really. And he's like, to get him out of his rhythm or to break, like, he's just so light on his feet, and he's got good timing. And I mean, Sam Maxwell, we all know what a good fighter he is. So that's hopefully I'll be able to stay in the building and watch it. But I don't know whether it'll let me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to watch that fight, and obviously, with the belt maybe wrapped around your waist, maybe who knows?
Yeah, I'll have a belt sat over my shoulder with I don't know, a few cakes or something on my lap, or a bag of crisps or something. Watch.
Sam, I want to talk to you a bit about the division you're in. Obviously, you've got some fantastic fighters at domestic level at welterweight. The likes of obviously Conor, Michael Mckinson, Chris Congo, Chris Jenkins. The list goes on, really. Yeah. How good is it to be in this generation of fighters at the moment?
I mean, it's like you say, the division is packed from the top. Like the top 20, you look down and it's just every single lad is a very, very good fighter. And if you get matched with him, it's a dangerous fight. So it's great to be. You're always going to be in good fights that way. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, Ricky Hatton was my inspiration, so I want to be in entertaining fights. So to be in and amongst them sort of names, and I mean, like you say about the generation thing, the people that are at the top of the tree at the minute, like there's a few of them in there that are in their 30s. So by the time I'm 28, should we say, a couple of them lads are going to be gone. And then there's going to be so much competition going for that in and around that top 5, top 3, in and around that spot. So it's going to be so busy up there, but that's great because it just means more fights for us and good fights for the fans. So it's perfect.
100%. I mean, it's a very, very competitive division you're in. You got some absolutely elite fighters at welterweight, obviously in world level. I want to ask you, if you could have a dream fight of anyone in the welterweight division at the moment, who would you love to get in the ring with?
I mean, it'd hurt, but Errol Spence. I mean, he's like him and it's the top. Do you know what? I say this a few times. Him and Terence Crawford. Like I watch Errol Spence and I say, "Oh, Spence will win that." Then I watch Crawford and I go, "No, Crawford's gonna win that." And it's just like it's one of them ones between them two. But Errol Spence, I think, is outrageously good. So yeah, I'd like to share a ring with him. But like I say, it would hurt.
And anyone on domestic level you would love to get in the ring with? Anyone? Maybe we mention anyone out there?
Listen, I'm always one. I'll stay focused on what I've got to do next Friday, and then we'll see what we go for there. But obviously, I would love a British title shot. Love one of them. So I mean, every British fighter would dream of that. There's going to be a queue. Like the queue is going to be massive to put your name in the hat for that. And it's so, but 100%, that's what I'd be looking for. Win this. I mean, it'll only be 12 fights in, but if I got offered the British title tomorrow, of course I'm going to take it.
Let's talk a bit about a few fights obviously being announced and happening very soon. Obviously, we'll talk about your sparring partner, Ted Cheeseman, who's fighting JJ Metcalf next week in Gibraltar. How good has Ted looked going into this fight, and how confident are you of him putting on a performance?
Listen, I mean, Ted's looking fantastic. I mean, he always does, doesn't he? I mean, he keeps himself in great nick the whole way through the year. So, but I've not really seen much of Metcalf. Do you know what I mean? I've heard he can punch very, very hard. So, and I heard he's a top lad from Adam down at Power Gym. So they're all confident in Metcalf, but I've seen Ted putting in some amazing work. So it's going to be a great fight. So, and one I'm looking forward to watching. But yeah, I've been putting in some good work with Ted. So he's looking strong, very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, I interviewed Ted probably about a couple of weeks ago now, and he seems like in a good place. Really, really firing on all cylinders. He's really up for this fight, and he really wants to win this fight and then push on and maybe fight for a world title later in the night. Yeah,
well, listen, if he's been around domestic level for a long time now. I mean, he come up just short of European. I think if I was if I don't know who's got the European now, I don't know if it's the same guy, but you'd like to see him dip his toe back in at European again before he went on to world. But listen, like I said about the British, if you get offered a chance for a world title, you ain't gonna go, oh no, hang on, mate, I'll just dip my toe into European first. You're gonna go for that. You're gonna take that step, aren't you? So listen, like all the best to him, and hopefully he can get a shot like that, because again, he's another one that's always in great fights. So it'd be good to watch.
Yeah. Another fighter you've been in there sparring with, or been in the gym with, been in the round of the gym with, is Conor Benn. He's fighting Samuel Vargas in a massive fight on April 10th.
Yeah.
How's Conor looked in training leading up to this fight, and how excited are you for this fight?
Oh mate, I can't wait to watch it. I mean, I was sparring Conor on his on the run up to his last fight quite a bit, and I mean, he's what a top lad he is. Do you know what I mean? I get on with him really well. A lot of people want to use his name to like call him out and stuff like that, but I've got nothing but respect for Conor. He's a nice, really, really nice lad, and he's a great fighter to back it up. And he's just starting to now step out of that sort of Ben surname. He's making a name for himself. Do you know what I mean? He's up the top of the rankings, and he's on that fringe world level now, and he's in there against some serious operators. So, but I think he'll be. I think he'll have too much power in that right hand for Vargas, and he's looking good in the gym as well. Do you know what I mean? He's improving all the time, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because obviously Vargas had Khan on the floor, didn't he? So, and I know Conor likes to tear up, so that'll be entertaining for while it lasts.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. Like you said, Conor does love a tear up, but he's also boxing very, very intelligently now. He seems like he's matured now. He's boxing, like I said, against Formella was fantastic. Even before that, he's boxing really, very well. Yeah. So I think we've seen he seems to be getting better fight by fight.
He definitely is. He is 100%. I mean, I said a couple of fights ago, he looked a little bit small for the weight, and he's really filled into the weight now as well. So he's now a solid welterweight, and his punch power is increasing. I mean, and he's still only young as well. So, but yeah, mate, he's getting better every fight. I mean, he works very hard. I mean, they all do down there. We all put in like work, but he's one that does really, really stick it in hard. So, yeah.
Another question I want to ask you, obviously another fight before we move on, is Chris Congo versus Michael Mckinson. That's going to be next week on in Gibraltar. Fantastic fight. Obviously, you know Michael well. You sparred him a few times.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to this fight?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's I've sparred Chris as well a while back now. They're going to have a very, very. It's going to be that's a hard one, because it's going to be a big clash of styles, because Chris is completely different to what Mikey does. Chris obviously wants to keep it long, and Mikey's very good with his angles, and his feet are fast, and so that's really, really interesting for me. I mean, I was sparring with Mikey at the start of my camp up in down in Portsmouth, but yeah, I am looking forward to that. But yeah, I've kept my cards close to my chest on that one. I mean, I should really back the MTK lad, but out of respect for both of them, I've not voiced who I think's going to win. But no, it's going to be a cracking fight, and good luck to both of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking fight. I know them both well. Obviously, very nice lads. Interviewed them a few times, and it's going to be a cracking fight. And I think it's actually a genuinely 50-50 fight, because obviously with the styles being different, you don't know what you're going to get on the night. And it's like I said, for me, it's got.
I think. Do you know what I mean? That whoever can adapt a bit better, will. They'll whoever can adapt quicker will get a solid lead, I think, and I think it's going to be nip and tuck the whole way.
I agree. Like I said, it's going to be like a game of chess. It's going to be a really good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's got the capabilities of being probably the fight of the night. Obviously, you've got the main event which is Povetkin White too, but it's got capabilities of being the fight of the night.
What do you reckon on Povetkin White too? What do you reckon?
I already fancy Dylan to get revenge this time. I've seen pictures of him in camp. I've seen videos of him in camp. I'm quite close to some of his. I'm quite close to his trainer as well.
Yeah,
and I really do think he's going to get revenge this time. I really do think he's going to bounce back with a win. Yeah,
I do hope so, because I mean, it was like he had it won in his last fight, and I think he just took his foot off the pedal just for that split second. And against someone like Povetkin, obviously you can't do that. But I think this time, if he gets Povetkin going, I think it won't be taking no foot off no pedal. It'll be going full steam ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be a stoppage in that. I definitely do. I can't see that going the distance. Sam, I want to ask you is you recently got a pair of gloves and some kit from same sponsor as us, Drtysouth. I've seen the gloves. Obviously, your fans will see the gloves on fight night when you do wear them on fight night. The gloves are absolutely pucker. They're amazing. But I want to ask you, how good are they? How good do they feel? And how good is the brand?
Mate, do you know what? I didn't when he sent them to me, I didn't realise how nice they were going to be. Because I mean, they look amazing, but when you put them on and you're sparring in them, and they're golden. Honestly, that's quite good because they're gold colour as well. But they're so comfortable. They protect your hands. They're a great material. They last. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no complaints there. I mean, Drtysouth have been unbelievable for me this camp. They've supplied me with loads of kit. They're doing my fight gloves, and they've matched them to my shorts as well. So that's going to look wicked on fight night.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure, obviously, now I've done the video, I'm sure fans will be looking at your gloves as well to see if when obviously you'll be landing some good shots with them as well, a real level. But yeah, like I said, mate, they look absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing obviously the whole fight gear that night.
Yeah, top man. Yeah, I've got some nice kit coming up. I mean, I'm not too sure what I can do more. I mean, like every kit I've had, I'm like, oh, that's my new favourite. And Ollie down at Box Fit and Susie Wong have done another amazing job on my shorts. And then Drtysouth will come out of the bag with some nice fight gloves as well. So I've got to put on a performance. Let's put it that way, because it's not a subtle kit.
No, I'm sure you're going to put in a great performance. Put your name on the map and put the gloves on the map as well. 100%.
100%.
Sam, before I let you go, basically, I want to ask you a question. Quick message to your fans and your opponent, Danny Ball, going into this fight.
My fans, I'm gutted that you can't be in the venue, but the support for this fight has been amazing, like from everybody, as it always is. And I can't wait to get the belt, bring it back, and then once everything's a bit more normal, I can come and have pictures of everyone and thank everyone in person. And Danny Ball, I will see you next Friday. Brilliant.
Thank you, Sam. Absolute pleasure having you on. I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck in your fight next week. And I'm sure we're going to speak soon.
Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for speaking to me.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Bye. Bye now.